Hi. Okay, we are in the freezer area of our garage. We have a small house, and so we have only a one car garage that we don't put cars in here. We have two full freezers and then a fridge, an old fridge that's in here. So kind of 2.5 freezers in our garage. I just want to say right at the very beginning of this, we do have a generator. We do have backup plans if we had a freezer go out or a power outage or something, that we wouldn't lose all of the things that that are down here. For the most part, most of the things that are down here in these freezers are things that I'm long-term planning ahead. I believe in buying things per season. So I buy fruits when they are harvested in the summertime, and not really throughout the year. As far as, actually, that's a total lie this year, because normally I don't buy strawberries through the winter time, and I don't buy blueberries and stuff through the winter time. But this year, since we went viral in October with strawberries, I've had to buy fresh ones all year. So when I bought these berries in August and made the blog post about it, was before we went viral. And so when I was planning for this, I was planning for a whole year of our berry use. And so I have been buying strawberries once a month because I feel like I need to be showing the pictures of it. But normally I do not buy any berries in the winter time, and I normally don't start back up buying berries until after Valentine's Day. So this year is kind of different because of going viral talking about strawberries. I feel like I have to always have them in my fridge to answer questions. So anyway, so this is, can you see in here? These are acrylic tubs that pull out, but that way everything doesn't slide down. So when you're measuring for the tubs, just make sure that you measure them so they'll fit in here. So some of them, sometimes they're 10 inches deep or 12 inches or 14 inches. So the things that fit in this fridge here do not fit in my upstairs fridge. I vacuum packed all these berries. These are raspberries, so they're vacuum sealed. They'll last for 18 months or 2 years being vacuum sealed. My goal is to always try to plan 1 year ahead, so one harvest season to the next harvest season. There's raspberries in here, there's strawberries. See, when I bought strawberries last year, I brought all the smoothies for my strawberries. These were like picked that morning and then put away. There's the blueberries. There's a blog post that talks about how I freeze the berries and vacuum seal them and all the things on the crosslegacy.com. These are blackberries. So all these things I would use for smoothies. This is kind of like the berry freezer. So we do have some random popsicles over here. They're there from last summer. And then if anybody got sick, and then I always throw yogurt in the freezer if it's about to expire, and then that way we can eat it like as frozen yogurt. So there's 3 of those in there that are going to expire at one point. So I will make sure that we eat these, and there's one more upstairs. So a total of 4 before we buy any more yogurt. I do have some basil that was left over, and there's some jam in this freezer jam. And then I guess I worry about having a bonfire in the summertime and not having stuff to make s'mores. So we had just found the marshmallows that were left, and I was able to make Rice Krispie treats. And then I just realized that we have like 6 ice cream bars between the top and the bottom freezers. Anyway, so this is the garage fridge freezer. So this is the freezer we call the old freezer, and this is where I normally keep our batch cooked meals, and then I'll kind of go down what we do in here. So we do have some toilet paper up here on top, and that's where we keep it, on top of the freezer. I have the same tubs in my freezer, so you just have to measure and make sure what size that you need. So I have things in here like taco meat that I made. So I always make 6 pounds at a time. So there's taco meat, there's some meat sauce, spaghetti sauce. We call it pastor sauce because that's who taught us how to make it. And then I had a random eggplant parmesan that I can just throw in the oven that was up there. This tub has some stuffed peppers. There's 2 packages that have 2. So again, I would just defrost those for a day and then put them in the oven to warm them back up. We have some shredded pork. So one of these I'm going to take out and we'll use up with that hamburger buns that I found when I was upstairs. So that is perfect. And so there's 3 shredded pork left. This one is Italian sausage. Actually, these last 2 are Italian. So there's 2 Italian sausage. It's hard to hold, and talk at the same time. So anyways, these two are Italian sausage that are cooked and ready to go. These two are shredded pork. They're cooked and ready to go. And then there's 4 stuffed peppers that I have in here. And then to go with like the other meals that are kind of cooked and prepped. Normally I have more prepped meals in here, but since going viral, I haven't had time to make as many things. So we've been really using a lot of things that we had in the freezer. I have shepherd's pie here, and then this one's the Mexican quinoa recipe that's also on the blog. Behind that I have some tortillas and pitas. Ooh, guys, burning my fingers. It is so cold. Other things we have in here is I have some puff pastry, so that's all ready to go. Oh, it's cold. I have some gloves. I might put them on. Okay, these are about one of the only things that we make that's like prepared, and these are chimichangas from Costco, and Mike loves them, so we always have like a tub of those in the freezer, and he has them for random lunches. That is something I do not eat because of allergies and different things, and nobody else eats, but Mike eats. So this is a bunch of beets that I had cubed and froze. I want to make some beet pasta with it, but this fall when they were getting harvested, I got beets, so that's just the beets. And then up here, these are all cherries. I'm going to make some cherry pie filling and possibly some cherry juice. So those are cherries that are vacuum sealed. This middle section is all peppers and onions, of different kinds. Some have the green in it, and some just the red peppers. And then I have some that are like longer slices. I bought all of these this fall when they were on sale for 3 for $1 for the peppers, and I did as many peppers as I thought we would need for the year. That way we have a whole little tub right there of peppers and onions. We seem to use those a lot like in crock pot meals. They're really handy just to have when we want to just throw some chicken or throw some sausage into a pot and have something cooking. This tub here is kind of deli meats. I love these packages from Costco because I can just throw them straight in the freezer. They're the ham packages. And then I have a package of roast beef with like French dips. And then I have 3 packages there of Canadian bacon. And those are for pizzas. I actually normally have the pizza and the Italian sausage over here in this other tub, which I normally call the pizza tub. Actually, I think on the blog post I talk about the pizza tub, but anyways, I just stocked up on mozzarella cheese, and so the mozzarella took over the whole tub. But when I buy cheese, I normally plan for like 3 to 6 months at a time. So this is about, well, we just used one tonight for lasagna, but this is about the cheese that we would use for 6 months. So we would have pizza one night or lasagna or something like once a month or twice a month. But one of these packages makes a pizza. So this is enough for 5 pizzas here for the next couple months. And then I also have, this is a Monterey Jack that's in there also. And I just bought these in December to stock up on this. So these will last like a year, but we'll use those before then. Down here I have a bag of tomatoes for the next time I make sauce. There's some frozen peas, some broccoli, and then this one's cauliflower. And then underneath the cauliflower, because this is our like pork products, so underneath here is the sliced up ham that I did for Christmas, and I put it all in individual little bags so I can pull them back out for breakfast burritos or quiches or whatever. And then this is all pork that we had bought a pig, and this is straight from a farmer to the butcher, and then we picked it up from the butcher. So these white packages here are pork. Let's see if I can get you down here without dropping you. Down here in this very bottom, this is where all the bacon went. So I do have some cooked maple sausage, so I have this right in the front so I know to grab it first, so the next time I need to use it. But then I have packages of maple sausage, and as I put things away as I buy them, I always make sure that I put the newest items that I just purchased in the back, so I know that I can grab anything up front, and it's always rotated. So it's good to go. I have a huge pork loin down here. This is a $19 pork loin. So I would defrost this whole thing the next time I want to make shredded pork, and then I would put it in the packages like up above. But I still had a couple packages from the last time. Then I have a lot of bacon. I was worried about a bacon crisis. But anyways, there's a lot of bacon in here. And again, with the bacon, I put the new bacon behind, and then the old bacon is in front. And so it's always rotating. So as long as we eat like 1 pound of it a month, we have a year's supply of bacon in here. And then I have some ham back here that still needs to be used up that was left over. But then I have some brats and some different packages of sausages. So sausage links and then some Italian sausage. So there's Italian sausage here. So there's pretty much, oh, yeah, well, I guess there is sliced ham that was left over, but pretty much everything that you would want pork products wise is here. And then over here, these are peaches. So I have a bunch of packages of peaches. Actually, like a shelf and a half of peaches here. So I had canned some, and then I ended up putting some in the freezer. And that way these can be used just for smoothies or whatever we're going to do. But then I have some that are canned upstairs. And then I have some enchilada sauce that I had made that's in here and ready to go. And some tortilla soup and some beef barley soup. These are in the wide mouth jars, so they don't crack as easily as the narrow mouth jars. So this is a wide mouth jar. What else do I have in here? I have some roasted tomato and basil sauce. So I had made that. There's some just random baking soda, and then I had not used this buttermilk. It was going to expire, so I threw it in the freezer. And then that way, when I went to make mashed potatoes, I would have buttermilk or buttermilk biscuits. I have a package of cheese slices, some sour cream, or not sour cream, what is that called? Cream cheese. So there's some cream cheese there. And then when we were in the middle of our kitchen remodel, well, we're still in the middle of our kitchen remodel, but when we didn't have a oven, I put our sourdough starter in the freezer, so you're able to revive it after it comes back out. And I just haven't had a chance to make bread since all of this craziness has happened and we're on social media. I keep bread in the freezer doors often, so we have bagels, and there's some sourdough bread down there. Those aren't bagels. Those are English muffins. There's some soup, some just random things. I have some pesto sauce, more pesto sauce, and then this is more of the spaghetti sauce, the meat spaghetti sauce. So anyways, and then down at the very bottom on the shelf is ice packs. So I try to sometimes keep ice packs in all the freezers, so it's just easy to grab. So making sure they're closed, I push on it. All right, I'm gonna readjust and show you the meat freezer. So this is what we call the meat freezer, or the new freezer. We had bought it last year right before we got a huge meat delivery, so that's why we call it the meat freezer. But we had always forever had one garage freezer, and then last year when we decided to buy a cow, we got a meat freezer for that. So this is 20 cubic feet of freezer space. I had a chest freezer early in our marriage. I hardly doubt I would ever have another one again. I am 5'1", and it feels like you're gonna like fall upside down with your feet in the air every time you try to get something out of the bottom. So anyways, I suggest a stand-up freezer, but that's my personal preference, being short. So I do have some stock up here at the top that I didn't get around to canning. It didn't fit in the last canner load. This is chicken that is up here. So I kind of have chicken kind of random in here in a bunch of places, but I bought it all in the same delivery, so I know that it's all exactly the same age, so I'm not worried about like rotating it as much as like things I buy from the grocery store. I do keep extra bread on the shelves, and then I buy our cheese in blocks. Then I shred and slice our own cheese. So I always have at least a shelf of cheese. So I try to buy 6 months to a year supply of everything I possibly can and have it stored. So we just have it and we don't have to worry about what's at the grocery store. I have more pitas down here. I seem to grab these often. Maybe I shouldn't grab them so often. No, I just have 2.5 packages. It's not too bad. Anyway, we use those a lot. There's more English muffins, and then some hamburger buns for the pulled pork. So between this package and the package upstairs, I have enough to use the rest of the shred up pork up, and then we don't have extras, and it works out perfect. These white packages in this fridge is all beef, or this freezer. And then I have yeast. The other freezer had the sourdough starter. This has the yeast. We joke about this, that I don't like less than 5 onions in the house. I don't like less than this much butter in the house. So this is the Kerrygold butter. This is the box we're working on right now. But I keep it rotated, so as I buy more butter, I put it in the back, and then it's always rotated. And so the same with this. That's why they're out of color order. I just know which order they were put in there or purchased. I use these tubs again everywhere. I have some that are like this shape. These have chicken in it, and then I had all of the different cuts of meat divided up into like these kind of tubs, and they fit too deep in here, so which is nice. I am super lucky. I don't know if everybody's freezers have this, but these little shelves right here exactly fit one of my cookie sheets. And so if you happen to have these little ledges and can measure it and can get a cookie sheet that will fit in there, it makes it so much easier for flash freezing if you have room to do that. I a lot of the times will have a cookie sheet right here that's fits across there. Anyways, I just have one bag of shrimp, and then everything else that are in the white packages is all meat. So these are roasts up here on top. I have steaks down at the bottom, at the very bottom in the basket. I'm not sure if you can see down there. That is all ground meat that we still have, ground beef that we still have. And then this is my chicken shelf. So I do have some other cuts that are up here that we bought in different places, but I like the Costco bags, and I always have this shelf full of chicken. There's normally breast and thighs, tenderloins, and then I do have a whole organic chicken in here too. Normally I have a couple, but anyways, this area, so I can just kind of glance at it and know whether or not I am low on chicken. This again is like a year's supply still of our meat. We are going to be posting what it looked like totally full with a full cow in it, and then this has been just right at a year, like 13 months. So we have still another year probably of meat left in this freezer. So I'm going to turn this off because this is beeping. Okay, so the beeping was driving me crazy because I don't like appliances that beep. But I'm thankful for them, but not when I'm filming. Anyways, the beeping on our freezer, on our brand new freezer, is so nice, and there's also a green light at the bottom of it, so we always know if, you know, we open up the garage, we can check and make sure that the light is on and that everything's good and things are running. And so with these older freezers, we have to keep an eye on it. We don't have anybody that is not an adult getting into these freezers, so I don't have to worry so much about them not being closed all the way, because we're really good about, everybody has a habit of pushing on it when we close them and just to double check that they're closed. Other tricks that you can do on Amazon, we're going to post some links, but there's freezer alarms that are, you know, reasonable price, that when you think about how much meat and different things that you have in your freezers, to spend $20 or $30 on an alarm for your freezer, not so somebody doesn't get in there, but if the temperature drops on it, it would let you know. Another thing is, during a storm, there are so many hours that you can keep your freezer closed and don't touch it at all, and everything will be safe in there depending on what your temperatures are and those kind of things. So we're going to link that in the blog also, so you can check that out and make sure that you are doing safe measures. Another trick, I actually don't have one right now, but I want to talk about it, is I sometimes take a glass jar and fill it up with water, and then I put a coin at the top of it, and then if the freezers had lost power at any time, it liquefies, and then the coin slips down into the water and then refreezes. And so then you can kind of tell, like, was your freezer just, you know, turned off for a couple hours, or did you have a problem and you didn't really know it? Some things that don't leak, like you might not know necessarily that you had a thaw and then refreeze, and you don't want that. So anyways, that is my freezers, and I'm kind of surprised I showed you all. Honestly, I believe in long-term storage. I believe in rotating our things, but I also believe in being prepared and to know that we have what we need as a family, and we can survive no matter what's happening at the grocery stores and different things. So everything is always rotated. I'm always taking inventory. I'm always checking. Even right now is the inventory from the last time I kind of peeked in there and kind of like double checked things was in September. And really the only things that I was kind of like, oh, we should eat those are the popsicles. Like, come on. So there's not that much that I'm worried about going bad. Everything's getting rotated and is really good. The popsicles are just something random I forgot about and not something that we even need to eat. So they are just there. I like to keep some in case somebody gets sick, that for like sore throats or whatever. I mean, I don't have any vegetables that are going bad. All the fruit in here is from this summer, so it's just a couple months old, and so it has another 14 months of shelf life or freezer life. And then all the cheeses and different things, we make sure that we keep those rotated. I normally keep about a 6-month supply of all the cheeses on hand. The meat I purchase once a year, and that's it. So I save up every grocery budget. Part of the grocery budget just goes straight into savings, and I am putting $100 aside for meat, and then I just buy that once a year. So my grocery budget per month is smaller, but it goes, or the grocery budget that I spend at the store is smaller because it just goes into the savings account. Anyways, if that opened up a whole bunch of questions, please feel free to ask away in the comments or message me on Instagram. But check out the blog. We have a freezer inventory on the blog to kind of help you go through and see what's in your freezer. You kind of see these freezers. I have things categorized and rotate it really well, where my upstairs freezer in my kitchen is just kind of random open packages. I don't have very many open packages of things down here in the garage. So that's just how it works for us. And I hope that maybe you guys learned something. You do not have to have 2.5 freezers to have a well-stocked pantry. If you go to the blog and the free ebook that's called Homesteading Anywhere, it's a free download. It's a 175-page ebook for free that I did with 15 other collaborators, bloggers, like homestead bloggers. And one of the chapters that I wrote in there, besides the strawberries in the jar, was how to build a pantry and to stock your fridge and freezer in your pantry like you were just moving out, like a newly, moving out person. But it's like a $300 budget of how to stock from top to bottom everything that you would need to be able to cook from scratch. So I base that off of space that you would need like in a standard like kitchen refrigerator and freezer. So if you just have your freezer that you have in your kitchen, there's still like lots of things that you can do when you start rethinking the way that you store food and use it. So anyways, I hope you learned something. Have a great day. Make sure you like and subscribe and share and all those things. All right, bye.